this afternoon, there's one issue here we would like to inform our media. And that is, among the key issues deliberated today at our pre-cabinet meeting, the issue of teaching of science and maths in English was brought up for in-depth discussion. And I need to refresh your memory that all this while we have been maintaining the basic stance, the basic position that as far as secondary schools are concerned, the secondary school level is concerned, the MCA as a party has earlier resolved to maintain English as the medium of instruction for science and maths at secondary level. And that is different from the elementary or primary level. Yeah? Form 4 and Form 5, we need to be mindful of the streaming of students into science or pure science and art stream. And that's the beginning, or perhaps that's the beginning of having biology, chemistry and physics subjects, the pure sciences subjects. And I did mention earlier, and I did bring up at the cabinet as well, it is imperative for us to be mindful of such a transition. And MCA is of the view that science and maths at the secondary school level, now, in fact, we should maintain English as the medium of instruction, at least at Form 4 and Form 5, because of, firstly, the streaming that I mentioned earlier, and on top of that, now, if you were to have transition from a Bahasa medium to English only at matriculation or pre-U level, to us in MCA, this transition might be too late. This is what we discussed, what we deliberated, and what we resolved earlier. And on top of that, coming back to the lower secondary level, Form 1 to Form 3, again, we are mindful of the continuity of studies, because we couldn't afford to have a particular cohort of students now switching from one language to another. For instance, like a certain cohort, they might face such a problem that now, in certain years, they were required to learn English, and they were required to learn science and maths in Bahasa, then later on switch to English. And I would say that is another factor we need to take into consideration. So in short, ladies and gentlemen, continuity is of prime concern, is something of a prime concern to us, continuity. And on top of that, I would also like to touch upon the SJKC, the Chinese primary schools. Chinese primary schools, now this is something different from what I said earlier, because we noticed that the time allotted to English language subject in SJKC is far less than Sekolah Kebangsaan or the national schools. And we are of the view that in order to address such disparity, we would propose now to increase the time allotment to English language subject in the SJKC to such a level that is comparable, or at least not to have too big the disparity vis-a-vis Sekolah Kebangsaan. Because currently, now after the revision, Sekolah Kebangsaan is 330
for the first level.
Yeah. Yeah, for instance, just to cite one example, with the revision now, Sekolah Kebangsaan at tahap 1, or that is year 1 to year 3, the total time allotment dedicated to English language subject is in Sekolah Kebangsaan is 330 minutes, compared to Sekolah Jenis Kebangsaan Cina or SJKC is 120 minutes. 120 minutes. And we propose to increase the teaching and learning of English language is SJKC, Chinese primary schools, by using the time slot previously dedicated to teaching of science and maths in English.